There is no despair in the world. Talk to Hashem for 1 hour every day. Every day of our life, yearn, pray, and make a practical effort to live in Eretz Israel. There's only one necessary path, and that's simplicity. Welcome to the Simple Life Breslov podcast. I'm Rebbe Nachman, and this episode is dedicated to Chava Amuna bat Sarah, Leah Nava bat Chava Amuna, Betzalel Moshe ben Chava Amuna, Malka Rivka bat Chava Amuna, Aliyah Zipporah bat Chava Amuna, bat Techaya bat Chava Amuna, Yosef Simcha ben Chava Amuna, also for the protection of all the IDF soldiers and the protection and safe release of all the hostages, and also for the success and refuah shlema for Esther Gittel bat Miriam Leah, Chana bas Riva, Rivka bas Yehudit, Rivka bat Elizabeth, Eliyahu ben Natasha, Lisa Lee Sholis, Nachman Note ben Etel Rachel Yula, and Zivia bas Gito. I want to talk about the most important thing that we could ever talk about, which is the greatness of prayer. So Rebbe Nachman, which was Rebbe Nachman's closest student, he said, even angels cannot rise to the level which the prayers can reach. Rebbe Nachman then teaches that a Jew's main attachment to God is through prayer. Likutey Moharan, Book 2, Lesson 84. Through his prayers, each Jew acquires absolute mastery and control. He can achieve whatever he desires. The essence of our life force comes from prayer. Likutey Moharan 9 and 1. Prayer brings life to all the worlds. Likutey Moharan 9 and 3. There's nothing more important and nothing higher than prayer. I was speaking with Nissim Black during an interview a few years back, and he was talking about he's a breast lover as well, and he said prayer is the most Jewish thing that we can do. Right? And it's so true. And then he goes on to say all of our patriarchs did it. That was who they were. They would go out to the fields and converse with God. Why do you think a lot of the men back in the times of the Tanakh took jobs as shepherds? So that they can be alone with Hashem. It's interesting because oftentimes we tend to look for other means of solving problems. I mean, just looking at current events, we see a lot of us doing everything else, but the main thing is prayer. Prayer is the only thing that can change the situation that we're in right now. And I often ask myself, what would happen if we were to put a fraction of the time and effort into prayer and crying out to Hashem than we are with all these other initiatives that we're doing, that we're putting together? What would happen if we stormed the heavens rather than storming the White House? Now, I'm not saying all these other things are bad. What I'm saying is I do believe that we are putting more effort into these other things and these other initiatives than we are in prayer, and the thing that's going to change everything. Now, I'm going to share something very, very powerful. In the book, Crossing the Narrow Bridge, chapter 8 speaks about prayer. There are 3 types of prayer: a prayer of David, Psalms 86, a prayer of Moshe, Psalm 90, and a prayer of the poor man, Psalm 102. Of the 3, the poor man's prayer is by far the most powerful, and that's from the Zohar, lesson 195a. The poor man's prayers are clearly the most powerful because they come from a broken heart. The pauper stands before God and bemoans his fate. Why me? Why do I have to suffer? This prayer is so effective that it breaks all barriers and rises directly before God. How much more so, writes Rebbe Nachman, when the person cries out to God that he is spiritually impoverished. This can be found in Likutey Halachot in the lesson of Tefilah, lesson 5 and 43. If we want our prayers to rise directly before Hashem, we must cry out. We must cry out to Hashem that we are impoverished. Hashem, I want to be closer to you. Draw me closer to you. You are the master of the universe. You control it all. Everything comes from you. I love you so much, Hashem. Thank you for my life. Help me in my situation. Help our world. We are spiritually impoverished. We need you so much. We need to cry out from the depths of our soul. This, and only this, is the key. We should be worthy of drawing closer and closer and closer. And we should ask God to help us to cry out, help us to open our mouths, open our hearts, and lift our heads to you, because only from you comes our help. I love you guys very much. Be blessed.